Battlefield 2042 will kill COD. It already has. Like, I'm loving it, and it's such a good game. Based on what I've played so far, it could actually be one of the best first-person shooters of the decade. I'm not even making that up. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So it's that good. It really is that good. Now, let's break it down a little bit. So, essentially, I played this game. I expected to have some bugs. I expected to have some, teething pains. I know it's just a beta, but usually it's the other way around. Usually, much like Vanguard, we'll use this as an example. With Vanguard, we were saying, oh, it's just a beta. Let's give it a chance. We'll see how it goes. Said the same thing with Cold War. Didn't turn out much different. But guys, we've played the open beta for Battlefield, and it is amazing. There's none of this, well, just give it a chance, it can improve. It's great. Obviously, there is a little bit room for improvement, but it's great. Like, outright amazing. I genuinely feel as if the rest of the game is up to this standard, this is going to be one of the best first-person shooters of the decade. This is going to be a classic. People my age, 27, had the original COD 4 as their classic, the game of the generation for first-person shooters. This, I think, is the game for that next generation. This is the classic for that next generation, who are kind of the current generation, really. But you get the point. It's that good. We've seen how good it is, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the full game. I can confidently say that this is the COD killer. For years, well, I say years, decades even, Battlefield has always been the game that's been the alternative to Call of Duty. It's always been the game that's not quite been the pinnacle of what everyone's wanting to talk about, but it is certainly a respected, not underdog per se, but competitor. Now, the tables truly have turned. People are getting bored of Warzone and the Battle Royale genre in general. People used to love watching it and hate playing it, and now people are starting to get a bit bored of watching it. And the fact that Battlefield's got such a big, expansive map where there's always something going on, it feeds that buzz. You get that buzz off it. Like, there's a moment in Battlefield where I'm shooting at people, I'm staying out the way of cars, and I'm dodging helicopters falling out of the sky. And that's before any tornadoes hit. It's just so good and so engaging, and it's really, really, really good. And I don't see Warzone being able to keep up with it. I really don't. Now, I know that people aren't going to take Vanguard that seriously, and it's going to be mainly the reskin, Verdansk. I know it's going to be a Pacific map, but it's just going to be like reskin, more of the same. And COD never really respects its competitors. At this stage, usually it's a game after where they start to bring it if they do get beat by something. You saw it with Apex when they brought out Warzone. You've seen it with Black Ops 2 around the time. Oh, what was the game? Halo, I think one of the games was. Battlefield 3 as well. That was doing really well. Expected to be a COD killer. And they brought out another COD game that was just mint. So, yeah, I think this is the game where the tables turn. People are going to be playing COD as a niche now, because this game's that good, and it looks beautiful, it runs beautifully, it's optimized decently, and it's just really good. And there's just so many good things about the game. For example, that one of the big problems that I had with Battlefield in general was the fact it was a bit confusing to get into. Don't get us wrong, vehicles are still really hard to control, but as in the flying ones. But what I mean by that is that in previous games, if you wanted to be a medic, you'd be limited to a medic class, you'd be limited to medic weaponry, you'd be limited to certain abilities. Whereas in this game, you can use whatever class you want. So you've still got the traditional assault, medic, scout, like engineer, but you can use all their abilities with whatever gun you want, which is fantastic. If you want to rock an assault class with a sniper, go for it. You want to be an assault medic, go for it. You've got that opportunity to be whatever you want to be, and you do have that full capability to not be held back when playing this game. And because you don't have to choose one class over another, I actually kind of feel it makes the game more diverse. And because you're not going to see people just all pick assault because it's got the best guns. You're going to see people try and complement their team a little bit more, which, when you got your squad together, that's going to be really, really, really important. Only thing I didn't like about the beta, and like I say, this is a beta, is how much ammo you start off with. I'd love to have like 5 or 6 mags just in reserve that that you're meant to have, that you usually have, and that would be great. I know actually in COD multiplayer you only get 3 mags anyway, so that's not actually surprising, but for the scale of this game, you do need more. Now, don't get us wrong, every time you kill somebody or run over somebody's body, you will pick up a mag off them. However, you can also equip an engineer. Well, you don't actually need the engineer. You can just equip a gadget now, and you can just drop an ammo box, which has a really quick respawn rate. So that's absolutely fine. That's great. So you can. There is ways around it. It just forces you to pick another class or a gadget, which you don't really want to be doing if you can help it. So that's probably a little bit of feedback I'd give back. But based on what I've seen so far, anything that can be improved is just a simple fix. It's not groundbreaking. Anti-cheat works. I'll say that again. Anti-cheat works. This game isn't riddled with hackers. At least not that I can find anyway. But I suppose that being said, we are in the early access beta, so the free-to-play wimps haven't actually got a hold of it yet. But I suppose that's going to be a good thing going forward with this game, though. To play it, you're going to have to pay for it, which is going to really put off hackers massively. So I'm really happy about that pay gap, that paywall. I know I never thought I'd say that. Free to play is always the way to be. I used to think that way, but now when you see how quick hackers will swarm a game that's free to play, no, you do need that paywall there. Annoyingly, so maybe the community knows that. So we'll see. But this game is actually incredible. The fact that you can actually change your attachments on the fly as well. Amazing. The fact that you can pick up somebody else's gun and change their attachments on the fly, amazing. It's so good. It's so good. Words can't describe how handy it is to be in the middle of a gunfight at long range. You kill a guy, there's someone else a bit closer, right, just quickly hide behind cover, quickly pop on a short range sight, bam, sorted. Same can be said for example, the DM7 that I like using. Of course it's the semi-automatic, of course I'm going to use that. DM7 that I like using also has a little thing where it has armor penetrating rounds for the tanks, for the cars, where you can actually, the bullet penetration rounds to do more damage. Or if you're at a far range, you can switch them out for the long range bullets, which have insane bullet velocity and don't drop, which is, well, they do drop, but very minimally. So that is a really, really, really strong aspect of the game as well. And then you can call in your drones, your dogs, blah, blah, blah. And then you can spawn. You've got your usual aerial warfare, which I've actually really enjoyed in this game. So good. You're not at a massive disadvantage being on foot as opposed to a vehicle. You've got plenty of tools to deal with vehicles. And it's just so good. I am so happy. In the podcast, I said I'm going to wait to see before I call the Battlefield a COD killer. I think it is, and especially if the streamers pick this up more often as well. This is going to be a big game, a big year for Battlefield. And it's going to be a big year for Warzone as well, because I don't think Warzone can keep up with this. I think Warzone is going to become that second game you play, where instead of playing Warzone all night and then, you drop into a game of Battlefield for 1 or 2 or Rocket League or whatever it may be, I think Warzone's going to be that game where, okay, we've played Battlefield for 6 hours. Do you want to play Warzone for an hour and then we'll come back on? That's what Warzone's going to be. Straight up. And the fact that you've got to pay to cheat, essentially, if that's what you're into, if you've got to pay for the game to cheat in it, to lose your account and risk throwing away the price that it costs for the game, and the fact it's got anti-cheat built into it as well, only a good thing. Now, of course, there is a couple of little issues in it. Obviously, there's a few little ragdoll things, which, easily fixed. There's a little issue with the invite system on PC. So if you got the game through Steam, the correct way. If you got the game through Steam, you've still got to open up Origin to send and receive invites, which is a bit strange, but that's fine. You can live with that. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Really, once you're in game, it's pretty much sorted. But it's worth inviting your friends on Origin, and getting that sorted out that way, because you've got Steam friends. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them straight away, but guys, this is the COD killer. I am so happy about this game. I'm so excited about it, and I actually want to play the game now as well. I've had to take time away from playing it to make the video, when usually I only record COD content because I need to make a video, or interact with friends. This, I will happily play by myself. This, I'll happily play with a squad. This, I'll happily play, period. But till then, guys, I can't wait for this game to come out permanently. But let's get right on with the hit and subscribe button. Cheers, bye.